Patrick Muncey, as you may know, has launched the Fouled Anchor, our first really upscale. I want to say, I'm just going to say lumbersexual because that's the cool term right now. It is upscale men's shop with axes and knives and denim and candles and waxed canvas and leather. I don't know. I feel my beard grew about 3 inches just saying all that. But it's a really cool shop to have here, and that's got to be something that is, I know, a passion for you, but it probably was a little bit scary too, saying, hey, I'm going to launch a retail men's shop in downtown. I wonder how that's going to go. What were some of the challenges you faced when you decided to pull the trigger on this?
A couple things, and I'm not, going towards the end here, probably not telling you anything that hasn't already been said, but time management is a big one. So that was a huge challenge for me, has been for a long time. My wife luckily keeps me in check, meaning that once in a while I get chewed out and I get back in my place and figure out my where my priorities lie and what's important to me. So time management, and then I tend to be a little bit, I'll use the word arrogant as far as thinking that I know more than I actually know. So
entrepreneurs wouldn't feel that way, would we? We know what we're talking about.
Some of the challenges for me are just realizing that I don't know everything and that I need to seek help. So retail was is a new venture for me. So that's a challenge in and of itself, but has been just terribly exciting. And I've got a lot of great product or makers that I'm constantly in contact with, and these people are inspiring. What they've done and the kind of the cliff that they jumped off of, 1, 2, 3, 10 years ago, to leave their jobs and make products that they believed in and loved. That's been inspiring to me.
And it is cool to see that it is, Patrick Muncey and the Fouled Anchor, but it's also the 30, 40, 50 companies that you're working with that are providing products, a lot of them made in the USA, a lot of them, like you said, 1 or 2 individuals making these products and reselling them. So that's a really, really cool story in and of itself. So once you got up and running and you had your big launch party and you're like, oh crap, a bunch of people showed up and started buying stuff out from under you and you had bare shelves and etc. What were some of the challenges that you faced once you opened the door and realized, oh, wow, there are people buying things?
Yeah, so that was a great problem to have. I was talking to a few people beforehand that, it would have been the opposite, would have been that no one showed up and no one purchased anything, and then I would have been standing there wondering why and what am I going to do now. But we had the opposite problem where I was kind of scrambling to figure out how to get more products on the shelves. I kind of thought, going into November 15th, which was our open date, that I might have to reorder one time before Christmas from a few suppliers, and then we would probably be good until the new year. Whereas what happened was we sold a ton of stuff, on opening day, and then obviously with Thanksgiving rolling around and people really started setting in and setting their minds on Christmas shopping, it was a daily task to see what we had in stock and what we needed to replace. And again, like Jose said, a lot of these companies are 1 and 2 people, so they're not, they don't have a stock of 400 items sitting waiting on people to order them. So me begging them to quickly make product and ship them out overnight so we could fill our shelves and have stock for people to buy.
What were some of the barriers to launching on the business side of things? There are all these wonderful, passion, dreams we have of doing the work we love, but it seems like a lot of times, the finances, the licensing, all that gets in the way of that. What were some of those hurdles that you faced, opening and getting into that?
I think for me, what and Jose and I have talked a lot about this, I don't enjoy the paperwork side of things. I enjoy the relationship side of the business. However, the paperwork is just as important, and that's what will get you in a lot more trouble. So I want to hang out with people. I want to tell them the story about the foul anchor. I want to talk to our makers, and I want to talk about products and build relationships with people. But for me, the biggest task is focusing on the actual business side of it, where there's taxes and licensing and paperwork and all these things. So again, and I'll kind of jump ahead on the question you're going to ask, but there's things that I'm definitely not good at, and so surrounding myself, and this is echoing a lot of what's already been said, but surrounding yourself with people who are better at the things that you're bad at, and so having people like Jose and friends around that have been down these roads, and to be able to consult and ask them questions and just kind of pick their brains on things and know that, hey, I'm not good at this, and in the past I've made a ton of mistakes. I started another business, Link Promotional, which is a printing and promo product business 5 years ago, last month, and that has been an up and down learning experience that I hope now, I'm kind of over a hump of knowing what I am good at and what I'm bad at, and seeking advice and seeking, people who are good at those things that I know I'm just not good at.
So if you had one thing and you said, do this thing and you will do well, what is that one chunk of advice that you would give to somebody starting something up?
Can I do two things?
You can do two. All right, we'll let him do two.
So one would be to pump the brakes a little bit, and maybe that's not in your nature to forge ahead, but I'm guessing if you are an entrepreneur, you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you are a pusher, so you're going to forge your way. You're going to put your head down and push through whatever issues, problems, obstacles come up. So I would say lift your head up, recognize what's going on, pump the brakes a little bit, and then again, surround yourself with people that know the parts that you don't know. Again, with Link Promotional, I had no clue the business side. I just thought, you know what, I learned to screen print in high school, and there's a need for that, so we're going to print shirts. I didn't know about quarterly taxes, monthly sales tax, all the employee taxes. I didn't know any of this stuff, and didn't care to ask because I thought I could just figure it out on my own. So that's probably the best advice I can give is to lift your head up and get past your ego and your desire and your passion to do what you love, and take the time to learn it and surround yourself with people that will help you down that path.
That's awesome advice. Thank you so much. Nice round of applause for Patrick Muncey and the Fouled Anchor.